Pearson R correlation test relationship between two continuous variables. Take note of the level of measurement. Continuous variables. It's not ordinal, it's not nominal. It is either interval or ratio level. Continuous variables. Associated terms, when you say testing relationship, you could also read about bivariate correlation, relationship, R value, scatter plot, association, direction, magnitude. So when you see these terms, you somehow associate this with test of relationship. Yan. So alternative types of correlation for different levels of measurement. So since this is what you call bivariate, ibig sabihin you have two variables, you have one independent, in this case it's the x variable, and y is the dependent variable, and you want to know if there is relationship between these two. Kaya you look at the level of measurement. If the x variable, which is the independent variable, is of interval level, and the same with y, then you can use the Pearson product moment correlation. Example of that is correlation between reading and math achievement, because the achievement is recorded in a continuous variable or continuous data. Let's say grades. Grade or performance in reading, performance in math. So these are two continuous data. Now for the second, if you have ordinal level for the x variable, both for the y variable, meaning you're labeling such that you can see very good, good, average. So that's how you describe, that's the observation, no, of your variable, that's the data. Correlation between anxiety level, so this, as you can see, level siya, no? And writing proficiency, so categorize mo ngayon yung anxiety, not in scores, but level. And the writing proficiency, not in scores, but in categories such as very good. So you have ordinal data. So you cannot use Pearson moment, Pearson product moment. You can use Spearman rank correlation coefficient. Now, if you have a nominal level of measurement for the X and then ordinal for the Y, then you have a rank by serial coefficient. That's the statistical test to be used. Nominal and then interval for X and Y variable respectively, then you have point by serial. So we have examples here of correlation between family configuration, such as whether the family is intact or whether it's a single parent or whether it's a complete na nandun yung father, nandun yung mother. So meron siyang nominal dyan because you cannot rank that. And then dito naman is interval. So you can use point by serial for that. No? And if you have nominal both for X and Y variable, such as correlation between voting preference and gender. So may kinalaman ba yung gender sa pagsabi niyang Republican siya or Democrat siya? Then you can use phi coefficient. So hindi lang Pearson ang test of relationship, marami. Marami kang options. But for this module, we will be discussing Pearson product moment. Correlation analysis is the process used to measure the strength of the relationship. So my relationship na weak, my relationship na moderately strong, and then my relationship na strong, my relationship na very strong, between two variables. Scatter diagram is an illustration of the strength of the relationship. So it's a chart that portrays the relationship. So malalaman mo yung strength, yung shape ng mga observations, yung how they are positioned in the XY plane, the direction, whether it is sloping, positive slope or negative slope, presence of outliers between two variables of interest. Dependent variable is the variable that's being predicted or estimated, while independent is the variable that provides the basis for estimation. It's the predictor variable. Alam nyo yan, no? So may example tayo niyan before na pagkahalimbawa tumaas ang presyo ng gasolina, then as an effect of that, tataas ang presyo ng mga commodities. So which one is the independent variable? The independent variable is the one that causes the change. So therefore, in that case, yung example kanina, ang independent variable ay ang pagtaas ng presyo ng gasolina. So in effect, yung presyo ng commodity, yun yung dependent variable. Then we have also what we call coefficient of correlation noted by small letter r. Yan ay person product moment correlation coefficient. So it measures the strength of linear relationship between two variables. Take note, linear. When you say linear, as x increases, there is the same corresponding increase in the y. If x decreases, there is also a corresponding, we call it linear. It can range, the value of r, range from -1 to +1. So there's no value of r na 2 point something or -3 point something. It has to be from -1 to 1 only. Values of -1 or 1 indicate perfect and strong correlation, while values close to 0, either from the negative side or from the positive side, indicate weak relationship. Negative values indicate inverse relationship. When you say inverse relationship, while one variable increases, the other variable decreases, and vice versa. And positive values indicate direct relationship. So let's have an illustration of this. What is meant by negative correlation, positive correlation. When you plot the points, yung observation in the XY plane, using scatter plot, then if this is what you obtain, there is somehow a line, almost a perfect line, but then the slope is negative, meaning as your x increases in value, let's say from 7 to 8, how y happens to decrease, no? Y decrease from 3 to somehow 1. So there is an inverse relationship. That's why this is what you call perfect negative correlation. Okay? Perfect negative. An example of this is as you increase, because it's known that cigarettes can cause, let's say, regress your health. Kasi it could cause lung cancer or emphysema. So as you increase the number of cigarettes that you smoke, then there is your lifespan decreases. When you are going to practice your profession and you get busy, so that as you increase your academic achievement, somehow it lessens your quality time for your loved ones. Pwede rin, no? Could be a negative correlation. Now, the other one is perfect positive correlation, in which as you increase your x, there is also a corresponding increase in y. So that's a positive correlation. But this one, it's a perfect positive correlation because there is a defined line that you can see, obviously, somehow at a 45-degree angle. And then zero correlation is when you cannot see a defined line, either a negative correlation or positive correlation. There's no definite line that you can see as you plot your points in the XY plane. Strong positive correlation is somehow there is a line, but there are other observations that seem to nandun sa medyo gilid-gilid ng line na yan. So that's a strong positive correlation. Okay? And then we have a strong negative correlation, and we also have this formula for the R, in solving for the R. Yan ang habang formula niya. You have n as your sample size, summation of the product of x and y, and then you have summation of x times the summation of y. This one is different from this, huh? And then divided by the square root of the quantity n times the summation of x squared minus the summation of x quantity squared. This one is different from this. And you do the same with the y variable. So you obtain this. Medyo mahirap i-memorize yan. However, you have to always remember that the value that you obtain from this formula, the range of values of r, is from -1 to +1 only. Now, how do we interpret the value of the r? So since you obtain values from -1 to +1, if you have between positive or negative 0.8 to positive negative 0.99, that's high correlation. And if you have positive negative 0.6 to 0.79, moderately high. From 0.4 to 0.59, either positive or negative, you have moderate correlation. And then these values here, low correlation. Finally, pag ito yung makuha mo, you have a negligible correlation. Now, this is arbitrary, class, because if you use yung studies na highly sensitive, such as in medicine, in pure sciences, that it has to be very accurate in interpretation, then magbabago tong interpretation to. Like for example, in testing yung mga drugs, no, like the vaccine, for example, hindi ito ang masusunod. So this is arbitrary. This interpretation is good for like in business, in education. So if you want to know if there is a relationship between two variables, wherein the study is not as sensitive as those in pure sciences that concerns life, then you can use this. So we have here give the relationship of the following. So example, number of hours spent studying. So that ang variable y mo is the grades obtained. Direction mo, as you increase the number of hours studying, there is the tendency that your grades will also increase. So there is a positive direct relationship dito. How about if you have distance traveled in 1 hour? Ano naman yun? Ano yung y variable mo dyan? If this is your x variable, ano yung possible na y variable mo dyan? Ano naman yung direction mo? Is it indirect or negative? So as you increase your distance traveled in 1 hour, habang lumalayo ka, ano yung magiging effect nun? Ha, class? Think of a quantity that may apply to this blank here. Number of absences. Think of a quantity na may be applied to this variable here. Price of gas, I have given that as an example, like commodity. So the price of a commodity. Then educational attainment, ayan. Lifespan, ayan. Think of those quantities. And then kung ano man yung quantity that you can think of dito, that will affect kung ano yung direction. Mga class, as x increases, meaning as distance increases, then speed also increases. Yeah, could be, pwede, no? Number of absences, grades may decrease, diba? So this is indirect relationship. I have given this as an example. Educational attainment, I have given that as an example. Coefficient of determination naman, the square of r, is the proportion of the total variation in the dependent variable that is explained or accounted for by the variation in the independent variable. So meaning, the r squared will give you the corresponding effect in terms of total variation in the y variable. So yung x, ano ba yung effect niya? Ilang kasi you can convert this to percent eh. When your R, say for example, your R has a value of 0.2, you square 0.2, you get 0.04. Multiply that by 100, so you have a 4%. That is about 4%, no, is determined by the X variable. So the coefficient of determination is the square of the coefficient of correlation and ranges from 0 to 1. Kasi nga, wala namang negative dyan eh. When you square this, it becomes all positive. Whether the R is negative, it becomes positive na. So we have here an example. Dan, a student body president at a certain university, is concerned about the cost of textbooks. To provide insight into the problem, he selects a sample of 8 textbooks currently on sale in the bookstore. He decides to study the relationship between the number of pages in the text and the cost. Compute the correlation coefficient. So here comes a student wherein in the library, he was able to compare 8 books and the corresponding pages and the cost for each book. So this is your X variable. This is your Y variable. So there is a 1-to-1 correspondence for 500 pages. The cost is 28,700. The cost is 25. And he wants to know if there is a relationship between pages and the cost of the book. So the process is to get the sum of this, then get the sum of this, and then we also have to fill in yung sa formula na binigay kanina, yung formula na yon, that one here, ito. Diba? If I were you, I would get, kung magmamanual kayo dito, then there has to be a column for the product of X times Y, another column for the X squared, another column for the Y squared, and etc. Para makuha mo this already. And you can do this in Excel if you want. So if you have, this is only 8 observations. But if you have more than 8, say you have 50, don't tell me you're going to do this manually. So you might as well make use of a tool such as Excel, and then encode the data so that you can create a column for the product of X and Y, for the X squared, for the Y squared, so that you can just fill in these values and there's no need to use it to do it manually. No? You can just simply provide a formula to be able to arrive at the value of R. So this is how we perform the hypothesis testing. So you obtain actually a value of 0.614 after computation, and it's interpreted as moderately high correlation. Yan. Now you want to test the hypothesis that there is no correlation in the population, meaning there is no significant relationship between the cost of the book and the number of pages at 0.02 level of significance. So that the correlation in the population is significant, that's your null. The correlation in the population is not significant. Or you can also rephrase this as there is no significant relationship between the cost of the book and the number of pages. And then H sub 1 is there is significant relationship. The null will be rejected if your T is greater than 3.143. Saan kukunin to? So you refer to the T table, yung T test. Now, if T is less than negative 3.143 with a DF of n minus 2, which is actually equal to 6 kasi 8 yung ating sample eh. So 8 minus 2 is 6 and alpha of 0.02. So you refer now to the T table. So you can compare the T computed against the T tabulated. So this is the T tabulated. And how do we compute for the T in the formula? So this is now the formula for testing, no? Wherein you fill in the value of the R na 0.614. times the square root of 8 minus 2 divided by the square root of 1 minus 0.614 squared with n minus 2 degree of freedom. So you obtain a value of 1.9. Since 1.9 is less than 3.143, ayun, 1.9 is less than 3.143, then you failed to reject the null. Well, pagkakonti lang kasi yung sample size mo because as you know, yung ganitong Pearson statistical test such as Pearson is highly sensitive on the sample size. As you increase your sample size, there is this tendency to reject the null, to arrive at a conclusion rejecting the null. A8 lang kasi to eh. Perhaps kailangan pa ng mas maraming observation. And then also take note na isang factor lang ang in terms of sa pag-determine ng cost ng book, isang pa factor lang to take into consideration, pages lang. How about yung whether the book is the print is in colored or black and white? How about the texture of the paper? How about the cover? Is it book hardbound or softbound? How about if the author is foreign or local? So there are many things to consider. Kaya lang, in this case, isa lang kasi we're dealing with Pearson. Ayan. So ang lumabas nga, H sub O is not rejected. Now, how do we do this in SPSS? So you go to analyze, correlate, and bivariate. After that, no, we're using this data here nasa likod. And then after you drag yung, because what we're going to do here is test whether hindi natin gagamitin tong data na to ha. We will use a raw data that contains the following variables: age, gender, which is a result of a survey, age, gender, status, educational attainment position, income group, and then my pre-test and post-test. So ito yung iti-test mo kung may kinalaman ba yung score na na-obtain sa pre-test dun sa post-test, meaning kung yung score ba sa pre-test mataas, is it does it tell you na magiging maganda rin yung performance niya sa post-test? Parang gano'n, no? So, gusto mong malaman kung may relationship ba tong dalawa. So, from dito, kukunin mo siya dyan. As you can see, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin ng gender kasi hindi naman yung continuous data, hindi rin ito. Hindi rin ito kasi itong mga to ay puro mga, except income ha. But then kung ang income ay nakaganito ang symbol, ibig sabihin yan, ordinal data yan. So, nakakategorical data siya. Ito kasi mga symbol na to sa SPSS class, ito nominal data to, nominal. This is ordinal data, ordinal, and this one is scale. So, ibig sabihin, interval data ito. So, ito rin. Kaya you drag this two, but then, okay, before that, you have to make sure na it passes test of normality class. Wala, hindi ko pa kayo naturuan ng test of normality. But then in SPSS, requirement kasi for a parametric test that the distribution should be normal. Kaya before you do the testing of relationship, you have to make sure that this pre-test distribution is normally distributed at yung post-test, yung observation doon, yung data points doon, is normally distributed. Once you determine that both of this, of the distribution of the data set of these two variables are normally distributed, then you can proceed to applying this Pearson moment of correlation test. Kaya pagka na-drag mo na siya dyan, anong susunod? You press options and this will appear. Just press means and standard deviation para mabigyan ka ng value niyan. Press continue. My default niya is sticking the Pearson and that's it. You press OK. Pag press mo ng OK, this will be generated. So you have a value of mean for the pre-test, for the post-test. As you notice, nag-increase siya. And then the standard deviation with an N of 60. And then the second table will give you the value of the Pearson correlation. So in this case, we have an R equal to 0.699. So that correlation is significant even at 0.01. So this is the value of your R. Pag may double asterisk dyan, ibig sabihin significant siya. Ibig sabihin yung p-value niya is less than 0.05. So as you can see, ito yung R, ito naman yung p-value. So yung p-value nga niya is 0.000 or pagka i-determine mo pa to, this is actually not really zero pero very, very small. So it's less than 0.05, meaning you reject the null. Ano ba yung null statement mo? There is no significant relationship between pre-test and post-test. And you reject that because there is, statistically speaking, a significant relationship. Ayun, class. So may kinalaman daw ang score ng pre-test doon sa score ng post-test. Okay, so we're done with Pearson.